If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're back, hello, how you doing? Today we're going to be talking about all things legalization. No, I'm joking, we're not going to get that deep. Even me, I'm still learning, I don't know everything. So today we're going to talk about when do models actually own their images? As in copyright, legally own our images. I'm going to get to the answer later on in the video. Keep watching to find out. I'm going to tell you my experience, what I've actually experienced recently. Actually, I was going to do a video about it, but I don't know, I was just kind of like, I wasn't in the mood. I was kind of like pissed off, and it was just a lot of stuff to like think of and whatever. Now that I've digested it all, now I thought, let me just do a sit down just in case someone is actually going through this. This is the first time I've experienced this in my whole modeling career. So I decided to do a collab with this photographer. It was all my ideas. She basically was just going to take the pictures because that's what you're going to do. This is a collab, TF, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like a job, like they scouted me. It was just a collab. A collab is basically when like a few creative people come together to produce an image or some sort of project and pitching ideas. It's not a paid anything, no one gets paid. It's just a few creative coming together and just making magic basically. So she was interested in my idea and I liked her work, her photography work. So I was like, cool, let's collab. Yeah, so on the day of the shoot, it was nice. She was lovely. I'm not gonna name any names because I'm just not that chick. I don't do that crap. So she was nice, and obviously we had a makeup artist on board as well. She was lovely as well. So the shoot went well. It was like cool vibes, like everyone was chilling. It was cool. Okay, now, so she said she's gonna obviously edit she's gonna edit the pictures and obviously get back to me with the final images. I was like, yeah, that's fine, that's normal, you know, photographers like to edit, tweak a bit of stuff, which is fine. So a few weeks went by and she sent me the final edits of the images we took. I didn't like her edits. I did not like her edits. I looked white. I looked drained. I looked dead. There was no color to me. There was no life to me. What the fuck? I was like, listen, mate, like I look dusty. Like what is happening? Like I actually look dusty. Like what kind of Photoshop are you using? Because I don't understand. I do not understand what happened here. I kind of emailed her back and say, hey, I don't like the final images the final edits that you made to the images, so I don't mind having the raw images because I've seen some of the raw images and I looked fine, so I'm not bothered. So she's like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna give you the raw images because that's not my final work. She's basically saying like that's not her final work. She doesn't want me to showcase her non-edited pictures. She wants me to showcase her edited pictures. And I'm like, I'm not happy with your edited pictures. So please give me the raw images and let me go my way. Like, and she was like, no, I'm not giving the images, blah, 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 blah. I was like, are you mad? Like, I said, are you mad? I know where you work in it. I'm coming to your place. No, I'm joking. I was thinking that, but I would never. But I was like, this is a collab. So if I'm not happy with your work, we should meet in the middle and be like, okay, let's compromise. Okay, you have the raw images. You can, like, I was just like, this ain't even a paid job. Like, this ain't a job. Like I was just like, listen, this is a collab. If I am not happy with the images, we need to come to some sort of like middle ground and work it out or whatever. She was just very stern and just very like, no, you're not having the raw images. That's not my final images. I don't want my images looking like that out in the public, as obviously social media and all that stuff. And I'm like, then we can scrap the whole collab, the whole project, because I'm not gonna put my dusty self on my Instagram. I'm not gonna do it. It's just, I'm not gonna do it. I was so upset because I really liked the pictures. The outfits were mine, everything was mine creative wise. It was like my idea, obviously, blah, blah, blah. And I was just kind of like, are you okay? Like, I need my pictures. I need my pictures. What do you mean? So I kind of spoke to my family, my brother, my sister, and I was like, what do I do? Like, this woman is moving mad. Like, what is this? Like, what is this? She doesn't want to give me my images raw, or like, she doesn't want to give me my images. Like, this is images of me, like me, and you don't want to give me my images. So she then sent a contract saying, and then she sent a model release contract. I don't know what the hell. I read it and I could not understand anything that was on there. When you don't understand what's written on your contract, please do not sign it. If it means you have to Google every single word, please do, because that's what I had to do, you know. And in doing that, I found out like everything, basically, so in the contract, when I like Googled like certain like words that I didn't bloody understand, she was basically saying she had all rights to the images, commercial wise, website wise, blah 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 wise. Basically, I have given her consent to do anything she wants with my images. And I was like, the way she's acting already, I don't even want to give her consent, period, to anything, because I don't even like the way she's acting. Like, she just seems like she just switched, like, no, I'm not giving you images. So I was like, this contract is a lot. It's a lot. I cannot give this woman rights to my images. It's just this, I'm not gonna do that. I also just scrap the whole project and let's go our separate ways and pretend we never met at all. Part of me wanted to do that. Part of me was like, oh, like it was effort to like shoot that day, and it was like, you know, you take time out. You know what I mean? So my brother was like telling me, just scrap it. This woman looks a bit dodgy. Like, she's just like, and I was like, no, I really want my images. It was just back and forth for like, I think like a month. So the contract was basically giving her all rights to my life, my dignity, and my intestine. In that sense, let's be real. So I emailed her back. I was like, listen, your contract is full of shit. I didn't say that, but I was like, your contract is doing too much. For just a little collab, you know, you're doing the most in your contract. Like, you're actually doing the most. A whole page of rubbish. And it was basically saying she was going to use my images for commercial use. Be careful if you do a collab and they're going to use your images for commercial use. When it's for commercial use, that means they're going to sell your images and make profit. And if you do a collab and none of you made no money out of it, and the photographer is and you signed the contract and it's for commercial use, that's it. They're going to make money off you regardless. And you didn't even get paid for it. So if it's commercial use, that means they can literally use your images anywhere, anyhow. But I think if it's UK based, then they can just use it in the UK. If they use the images outside of the UK, then you can actually fight that, I believe, because it's just, you just have to read the contract. And obviously vice versa in other countries. You have to really do your research. Like, it's actually intense. I told her, listen, I'm not signing this contract. So actually she said to me, okay, I will give you the raw images, but you have to sign the contract. It just seems like she copied and pasted something from the internet and was like, yeah, here you go. I don't think she even read it herself, or maybe she did. I don't know what her aim was, but I read it, sent it to my family members. Everyone read it. I was like, nah, this don't sit right with me at all. So I said, I'm not gonna sign your contract, because on your contract, I told her, on your contract is basically telling me you're going to use my images to make money. And that's not what I planned for. First of all, I don't even like the images. On top of that, you're going to make money of images that I don't even look good in. Are you sick? So my pictures are going to be in everywhere and I look like a mad person. No, it ain't going to work, honey. It's not going to work. So I said, listen to me. I will rewrite another contract and I will sign it, yeah, knowing that I am satisfied with it, and you can give me the raw images and we can both go our way. So I sat down, read the fucked up contract, and I found another like sample online. I kind of just like changed up the contract, because her contract was just too It was too serious. Like, it was too serious. So I changed up the contract, rewrote the whole thing. Like, I flipped it, gave it to my siblings to read. They read it, they said it's fine. So I was satisfied with my contract. I signed it because I was happy with it. She signed it, and then she finally gave me the raw images, not the edited ones, because obviously I didn't like the edited ones. So I was like, here you go, this is the contract, sign it, and we can both go our separate ways. So we finally did that, and that was that. So I'm just trying to let you guys know, in hindsight, like, in reality, by law in the UK, where I live in the UK, so I don't know anyone else that doesn't live in the UK. In the UK, the photographer has all rights to your images. That's it. Period. Like, they have rights to your images, collab or no collab. If you sign the contract, like, obviously I didn't sign the initial contract, but regardless if you sign the contract or not, honestly, they have rights to your images because they took your pictures. They use their materials to take your images. They have rights to your images, and that's it. Contract or no contract, they have rights to your images. However, if there's like other like little niggly bits that you can fight, but in a sense of rights to your images, models do not have rights, and that's it. Even if I didn't sign the contract, she still has rights to the images, so she can keep the images. If I told her to destroy the images, she doesn't have to destroy the images, because that's her right, is she can keep the images. But if there was no contract being signed, if there was nothing being signed, then technically she can't use the images publicly, like social media, commercial use, website. She actually can't, because I have not signed anything. She can't use it for commercial use, but she has rights to the images. So if I was to tell her to delete the images, she doesn't have to delete the images. In this situation, I was able to kind of like tweak it and kind of like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's quite complicated, but you kind of have to do your research. So this is my story. You just have to be very, very careful. I've never experienced this in my life, in my whole modeling career life. I've never experienced this ever. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I do collabs, I actually don't sign anything. This is the first time I've actually signed a model contract release doing a collab, if that makes sense. I've actually never. So in a sense, regardless if you sign or not, the photographer has rights to your images, and it's that simple. The only thing I was trying to fight was her not using my images for commercial use, because I didn't like the way she was acting in the first place, like trying to withhold my images and trying to tell me that I can't have my images. So all of that added to the stew. I was just my back was up. So when I read the contract and it's just basically stating she has rights to sell my images, I was like, nah, I need to rewrite this contract to tailor to myself. And she was happy with it. It was readable for both of us. Like, I literally feel like she copied and pasted her contract and didn't even think or anything. The fact that you can actually read your contract and understand it is a point. You need to be able to read and understand your contract. If you don't understand it, because with contracts, there's just random big words and just madness on contracts. So even if, like, I had to go Google to like search certain things, because I was like, what does this mean? I don't understand this English that's happening. So I did my research. I reread the whole contract. It was very clear, very understanding. It was just like clear and simple. And now I can use that contract for moving forward to like anything that I want to do. Like, it could be collab, or if I want to like work with people and I want to protect myself in a sense, like commercial use wise, then I can do that. Because if it's a collab, and you need to understand, like, if it's a collab and no one's getting paid for it, and the photographer use your pictures for commercial use, the photographer is getting paid and you don't even know it. Do you understand? So the contract that I read is for me to protecting me from anyone selling my images. So if they want to sell my images, they have to come to me, like basically notify me and ask permission from me. So if they do ask permission from me, then whatever they make from sending my images, I am going to make it too. Do you get? Are you understanding? Because that's why I read this contract. So that's collab. That's like collab and TF shoots and just collabing with people. If you want to protect yourself, do that. I recommend start using contracts. If the person you're working with doesn't have a contract, do one yourself to protect yourself from being exploited. I'm telling you this now, please do that, because there have been times where I've seen my images just somewhere and I'm like, how did my image get there? How did my image get there? But I was young. I didn't really know about this contract. This was like years ago. In a sense of like going to a job, as in like a booked job, and you sign a model release, that's fine, because you're doing work, you're being casted and being booked for this job. So in a sense, this is what modeling comes with. Your images will be everywhere. When you sign a model release, you're basically, when you go to a book job and sign a model release on a job, as we all do, if you don't do that, then I don't know what kind of jobs you're booking. You have to sign a model release. So the reason why you do this, sign a model release, is because you're giving rights to the photographer to use your images. And if you agree to do this job, you are actually giving rights to the photographer to use your images, or like the designer, or so you're giving rights to the designer or the photographer to use your images wherever they want. That's why, and that's fine, but that's why you need to read your contract properly, and that's why you need to get paid properly. Because if they're using your contract for commercial use and they're making money out of it, and you don't get paid the correct money, they're getting money. You're just there looking pretty. Like, when I look back, I feel like I have fucked up. Like, I feel like you live and you learn, but I feel like when I look back, yes, I wish I had, like, yeah, there's things that I could have been paid more for. So, more of the story. When do models own their images? We don't. And that's that. I'm not gonna lie, we don't by law. UK, I'm talking about UK law. I don't know how I think like majority of countries, but I live in the UK, so I've done my research UK wise. Models don't own the images, because it says basically the photographer has used its own, when the photographer used their own material to take the image, essentially it's their image. You can somehow protect yourself to an extent, but they still have right to your image. They might not have right to your image to commercialize it and sell it, but they have rights to your image, if that makes sense. Unless it's something like exploiting you, like nude pictures or something you didn't agree to, and you all of a sudden like realize this, something exploiting or just like damaging or something like that, then you can fight it, But if it's just like, I don't like the pictures, do you know what I mean? We don't have rights, and that's the bottom line. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate, but we actually don't have rights to our images. It's quite an eye-opener. Like, I'm still personally learning. Like, I'm like, what? So I was just trying to find ways of trying to, like, because I was just not happy with the image. I was so not happy with the images, like the final images that she edited. So she was like, oh, I spent 5 hours editing. I'm like, that's not my business. That is not my business. That's not my business. You're a photographer, do your job. I came to the job, I'm a model, I did my job, we got cool images, and now it's your turn to do your job, edit the images correctly. Don't make me look like a flipping ghost. I'm not Casper. I don't want to like show the images, because I just don't want to show the images because it might link to the photographer, and I don't really want to like be exposing people like that. It's resolved. I'm just telling my story, and that's it. If you do want a copy of the contract that I have, please feel free to contact me on my Instagram. I can email you guys the copy. This is only for collabs, by the way. If you're going to a paid job or like a model, like a job, like a modeling job, they have their own contract, because you're actually going, you've been casted for their job. So you can't just come and bring your own contract. It doesn't work like that, love. It doesn't work like that. Don't go and bring your own contract. Don't embarrass me like that, please. Don't bring your own contract, because they'll be like, what? Pardon? That chick from YouTube, shorter than average model, said, no, please, let's not embarrass each other like this. Let's not embarrass each other like this. So job-wise, no. Collab-wise, yes. This is the perfect contract to have for all models. When you watch this video, please do your research. Why am I doing hand gestures? When you finish watching this video, please do your research. I'm not gonna make money of me like that. And if I was to find my images somewhere after the photographer has signed my contract, I can sue them. And that's it. I can actually sue them, because I can be like, hey, this is the contract we signed and this is the permission I gave you, and you've gone out your way to do something outside this contract. So in a sense, not even in a sense, confirmation, you can sue them because they signed the contract and they're doing the most. Contact me on my Instagram. I'm going to put my Instagram handle at the bottom. Just DM me and say, hey, I would love a copy of the contract. Don't just DM me, like, at least follow me. Sheesh, some people are just ruthless, boy. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.